lives one day at a time. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. They're here to get your day going fine. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. And here's your host, Miss Kim Robinson.
He's my rock. He's the reason I can't stop giving them praise until I drop. He took me from the bottom all the way to the top. That's why I tell the devil get back. Strapped with the word, click clack. And you ain't never gotta wonder where my faith at. I can do all things through Christ. Did you get that? Chase God, not money. That's true facts. I'm obese with belief. Yeah, too fat. My foundation's too strong, so it can't crack. I'm cool when life gets rockin', no ace. He laid down his life like a flow, man. That's why I go so hard and never go back. I'm never searching for a blessing at all, cause he's my rock when my back against the wall. The true rock, you should smell what it cooking. Baking up joy like peanut butter cookies. Get a taste of him and you might start juking. Get the shouting hallelujah, got everybody looking. But that's okay though. Yes sir, he's solid. 10 toes down, he endows me with knowledge. Provides strength when I'm weak in my body. I bounce back with a fight like Ali. For Roche, gotta know he don't play. The big homie on the block with the most game. I just lean on him like a brick wall. Catch your back when you slack, make the big fall. What a big dog, thank you for the sacrifice. Thank you Lord for giving life and sending down the Holy Christ. A refuge and fortress of solitude. I'm flexed up with a dancing like attitude.
awesome song. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk Show right here on Elations Radio. I am your beloved host, Chanel Lynn, and this special thanks goes to the lovely Miss Kimmy Kim and Jerry Royce at PositivePower21.org. Now, for our topic on tonight, I, your host, not we, but I, will be talking about the tragic death of celebrity rapper Nipsey Hussle, as everyone now knows that someone he knew from his childhood by the name of Eric Holder is responsible for his death. And I'm just really shook by the tragedy that has happened. And I feel so sorry and even at a loss and just very, I just send all my condolences out to, his wife, his children, his family, his loved ones, his friends. This has been a situation and a tragic moment that has impacted everyone. And so everyone has been, talking about this. This has been, of course, the talk of this entire country, maybe even the world. I don't know how many people, Nipsey reached, how many people his music reached past America. But I know that this is definitely, this has caused some heated discussions. We all, are experiencing high emotion about this. Everyone is sick and tired of things like this happening to people of our culture, the leaders who are actually, making a difference, a huge impact on the masses of us, giving us hope and encouragement, to follow our dreams and, allowing us to believe that we too can make a difference and change this world. All to find out that, they too have lost their lives just as, the creatives and the leaders, the brave men and women of our past, lost their lives, going against the grain. And so as some news reports say that, Eric, which is, again, the man that was responsible for Nipsey's murder. They say that Eric randomly went to pay Nipsey a visit at his store. Nipsey then tells this man, hey, you're a snitch. You're not welcome. You're not welcome in this store. You're not even welcome in this area. They say that Eric then leaves, comes back to shoot Nipsey in cold blood. Now, The Breakfast Club, which is a well-known celebrity radio show, a lot of the celebrities go there and they, talk about, different situations that they are going through. They also talk about their music and promote and everything else there on The Breakfast Club here. Their theory is that this man gets angry at Nipsey, because of what he said and how he, let him know that he wasn't welcome. Said that this man said that Eric gets angry and snaps because, they say that his manly ego was hurt and that he couldn't deal with Nipsey rejecting him. Now, the general public, our culture of people have, same as always, just, have gone along with the reports and everything that has been shown and said on the news, on the, radios and podcasts, and so on and so forth. Now, back to what they were saying, about this young man being upset about Nipsey rejecting him. Now, I can't help it. I'm a deep thinker. This is not on purpose. This is the way God made me, and I accept it. Okay. I probably should have been a detective myself. I don't know, but oh my Lord, have mercy, help me in heaven. So this man is a known snitch and an informant for the FBI, okay? you're gonna have to excuse my passion because just like everybody else, I too have I'm very emotional about this because I feel like this affects all of us. This affects me. This affects my children. Especially my son. It affects me. It affects our community. It affects our nation. Okay, so I really am passionate about this. So again, this man is a well-known snitch. Okay, and an informant for the FBI. Now, if you all know anything, about snitches, they snitch because they've been caught doing something. They've been caught doing a crime, and they, are looking to face, years in prison. And so he's a snitch. He snitched on whoever that he committed whatever crime it was that he did, in the past. So the whole community over there in LA knows him as a snitch. Okay? He's known to work with the FBI. Okay? Now, he's not welcome, hasn't been welcome in Nipsey's, store, that area. Nobody in that community accepts this man because everybody knew that he is a snitch. So he hasn't. It's not like he's been going to Nipsey's store on a regular basis. All of a sudden, this man, this informant, goes to pay Nipsey a visit. Nobody's asking these questions as to why, and then it just seems like nobody's really paying attention at the timing. Okay, here Nipsey Hussle is in the middle of doing a documentary on Dr. Sebi, who, for those of you who don't know much about Dr. Sebi was also murdered, all right? He is the doctor that is well known for having the cure or cures, plural, for HIV, AIDS, cancer, diabetes, syphilis, hepatitis, even paralysis. He even healed a blind man, He was doing miraculous things through his study, through natural herbs of the earth. This man, as Nipsey was, in the middle of doing the documentary for Dr. Sebi, he said, even on the Breakfast Club, that, Sebi was brought to the Supreme Court in New York because they were bringing accusations against Sebi, trying to indict him because they claim, they said that he was a theorist. They brought these charges against him saying that, he claimed, his theory, or, he's putting falsified information out there and getting over on people, and scamming on people because he's letting people know or telling people that he has the cure for all of these diseases, all of these incurable, as they say, incurable diseases. And so they bring him to the Supreme Court. This is what Nipsey was saying on the Breakfast Club. Said that, he beat both cases. There was two cases brought again. He went to the Supreme Court twice. He beat both cases, okay? And so he's in the middle of doing this documentary, and even while he was talking on one of the radio shows, he said that, his friends were telling him, because he was like, how they move, He said that, his friends were calling him saying, man, they're going to get you. Your plane going to crash. Your plane going to go down. He said, man, if they kill me, y'all better ride for me. So it's not like it's not known for things to happen, or it's not like it's not known for the government to attack leaders who are quote unquote going against the grain. Okay, so let's go to some well-known facts here that nobody seems to, well, I can't say nobody, but the majority of us, seem to kind of look over and just, go with whatever's being said. Now, listen, the news is saying that this is, gang related. They're saying that, this man, of course, he's has some kind of this was a personal thing or whatever that he had against Nipsey because of whatever Nipsey said. And then here we are, even at the memorial. There was a breakout in the memorial of Nipsey, and the thousands of people all of a sudden were running, scattering, and then even the guy that, the newscasts that were in the helicopters in the sky were saying, well, I don't even know what's going on. Now, what was first said was that there were shots and stabbings that had happened. But one of the people that was in the crowd that was on the news on the ground, was saying that someone, quote unquote, got scared, quote unquote, got nervous, and then started running, and then everybody else started running, and people got hurt because they were being trampled over. I have a question about that. Why, in the first place, was just someone scared all of a sudden when all of the focus and the attention is on Nipsey and what happened to him and remembering his legacy and everything that he said and everything that he taught and everything that he showed the people of his community? That's what the focus was on. I don't believe that anyone was just scared for no reason. I don't know. I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? Call me a theorist. Call me what you want to call me, Maybe there was someone who was afraid because maybe everybody in the community, both, on both opposite ends of gangs or whatever, maybe they were all there and maybe somebody was scared. But at the same time, Nipsey was known for bringing those people together. There was a long period of peace while Nipsey was there, He worked with people. I mean, even his music blessed the people, on both ends, both the Bloods and the Crips. Brought them together. They both were singing his music, Oh, my goodness. Okay, so now they're saying, even at the Breakfast Club that, Dr. Nipsey's information and his remedies, for the cures is online. So why would the government waste time on killing Sibby because his cures, would cause the pharmaceutical industries to lose money when his information, on the cures is just a click away? Well, number one, I can only, think about how the same thing that Dr. Martin Luther King fought for, which is, the end of the segregation, that our people were, was experiencing at that time. Of course, we're not as segregated as we were back then, but yet they still assassinated Dr. Martin Luther King. Maybe, in my theory, as people would like to call me, a theorist, in my quote-unquote theory, just maybe the agenda for the government is to put fear in anybody else or any other individual who would want to show up and make a change and go against the grain. You know what I'm saying? Whoever might want to, free our people in any kind of way, this is an example of what will happen to you as well, as they have done the same to Malcolm X, as they have done the same to Tupac, as they have done the same to Biggie Smalls. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on, okay? I'll bring it even home for us here in St. Louis. Same for Darren Seals, same for the young man that threw the tear gas back at the police. He also was murdered, and there's nobody in custody for these. Nobody's in custody for these murders. But nobody's asking the right questions. Every time something happens, the masses of us as a culture of people, what we ask is, oh my God, how can this keep happening? Why does this keep happening to us? Why? How is this happening to us? And then we go on with our own theories. Oh my gosh, we're doing this to each other. Oh, this is a slave mentality. Oh, we hate ourselves and so we hurt each other. But we fail to see the bigger picture. We don't see how every time it's like we don't pay attention to patterns. There's a pattern here. Every time someone dares to go against the systematic way of things that are set up here in America, every time someone steps up into any kind of oppression, any kind of suffering, anytime when someone comes and they bring some kind of free way of breaking out of the box that we've been placed in, like segregation, like diseases, like being oppressed, suppressed by the quote-unquote powers to be, there's always a murder with, most of the time, no one in question. But this time, there's a hidden agenda in my eyes because I'm always looking at the bigger picture. So the bigger picture that I see is I'm looking at the enemy altogether. I'm looking at Satan himself, how he operates in warfare, how he uses and manipulates whosoever him to use them to push his ultimate agenda because he knows he has but a short time. His plan, as the Bible says, is to kill, steal, and destroy. But only way of doing that, of course, is through using who? Us, people. And since I can remember, we have been like they've been saying since the beginning, since I could remember. We've been hoodwinked, bamboozled. We've been stripped from our identities. We've been tricked to believe that we are nothing past slavery, that all we are is, are slaves. That's all that we'll ever be. We've been tricked into believing that there is nothing but to be oppressed, depressed, suppressed, but to be poor, just in general. And I can see how that will cause a person to have self-doubt. I can see how that will cause a person to, all of us, to go through life just suffering, just having a negative mindset on life, a negative outlook on life, a negative look on self. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of just a little distracted just for a little bit because I am actually about to read you all what I posted on my timeline on Facebook. Because there were discussions going on Facebook about this situation that keeps happening to us as a culture of people, especially those of us who are leaders. And while I'm searching for this, let me just say that, we are extraordinary people. We are not who and what they say that we are. We have a history past slavery that they will not tell us about. And there's a reason behind why they won't tell us who we are or who we even were or whatever, past slavery, okay? Here's something that I shared with a young man on my Facebook page, okay? Now, this young man, this young man, says that, of course, like everybody else, well, not everybody, well, the majority of, of us, the people of our culture, he's believing that, this man was, that Nipsey was murdered because he called Eric a snitch. And, to be called a snitch, I guess hurt the man's feelings so bad to where he wanted to murder Nipsey, Maybe it's because of who Nipsey is, the impact that Nipsey had on the community or whatever, why it quote unquote hurt so bad. But what doesn't make sense to me is this man is a known informant, okay? He's a known snitch, okay? That means that he's under heavy surveillance. If you know anything about the FBI and how they deal with their informant, it's a game to them. They use them as pawns, okay? They use them as puppets to push their agenda or, quote unquote, the agenda of the government, okay? Under heavy surveillance, this man all of a sudden pops up at Nipsey's store. And long story short, he murders him, gets away with it, and now all of a sudden nobody can find him? You mean to tell me that someone who is under heavy surveillance of the FBI didn't have some sort of agenda? Now, I don't think that he had a personal agenda. I really believe that his agenda was the agenda of the FBI. Snitches because they don't want to get in trouble, okay? They don't want to serve their sentences, and so they snitch. I'll tell you, I'll sing like a bird. I'll tell you who, what, when, where, how, what time it was, what day it was, if it was sun up or if it was sundown, okay? And I believe that the FBI looked at this man as a snitch, as one who was so cooperative with them that he could be used to push the agenda to killing Nipsey. Now, the FBI, the government, they are well-known stalkers, I'll use that, okay? They can stalk on you through your phones. They can stalk on you through your flat-screen TVs, through your laptops, your tablets, your notepads, so on and so forth. Call me a theorist, call me crazy, call me what you want to call me. I'm still going to be Chanel, and I'm still going to say what I know to be true. Now, you can say this true to me. You can either accept it or you can either reject it. However, I'm still going to say what I say. Now, they are able to know who your friends are, who they were, who you are, who they were, who you went to school with, what school it was, all your family members, who you slept with, who you married, who you divorced, who you put your hands on, who you didn't put your hands on, who put their hands. They know everything. They have a way of finding out everything. Let's run it back to Tupac for 2.5 seconds. They have a file on this man's entire life, okay? And they knew how to murder him. They didn't have to plant his murder on anybody. They knew this man had many enemies. So it was easy for them to target him. Now, let's go back to the situation here at hand. They knew everything about Nipsey just like they know everything about everybody else, especially celebrities. They're in the public eye more than anybody on the face of the earth, these celebrities. Absolutely. Most of their business is put on broadcast for the world to see anyway. So they knew that this man, knew Nipsey from when they were little. They had this man in the palm of their hands, okay? Their agenda is the agenda of the devil. How about that? Their agenda is the agenda of Satan himself. Yep, I said it. I don't care. Because the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. We know his devices of division, of death, of fear, of pain, of turmoil. So here we are. Here is the perfect opportunity, because Satan knows he has but a short time. Here's the perfect opportunity at the most opportune time to, number one, attempt to stop this documentary on Dr. Sebi Number two, to start a war within America itself, with the very people that Satan has been trying to annihilate from the beginning of time. Here we have this young man who goes to murder this man who has a platform that impacts the masses of us, whose death can cause a war, especially with one of our own, who is also or was also in a gang as well, who would make other gang members, or to make the Crips, let's say, upset at the Bloods because one of their people killed one of our people, as they would think. And LA was in the past known for massive violence, massive gang violence. Okay? Nipsey dies, and then bam, there is a threat of a huge, massive bloodbath. Okay? And them young man who is, in my opinion, trying to save his own skin because of whatever the FBI promised him, maybe years off of a sentence, maybe some money, maybe an offer to take care of his family. You've watched the movies. If you haven't studied how the FBI moves, if you haven't even looked it up, if you haven't read any books on the FBI, you certainly have seen movies on it. And this is how dumb or like blind sheep the government knows the masses of us, our culture of people are, that they could put it in a movie and still push the same agenda, and we would go along with whatever they said, that we wouldn't get a clue as to what's actually going on, okay? Here we have a threat of a bloodbath in L.A., probably like never before. And then this young man, which I said once before, I say it again, is trying to save his own skin because he's a snitch, and that's what snitches do. They snitch because they themselves cannot handle the consequences of whatever crime it was that they committed in the past. Here he is now in hiding while the government can now push their agenda on the masses of Bloods and Crips gang members or whatever to start a gang war. Right now is a rumor going on, but you can tell, you see on social media, people are pissed. The celebrities are pissed. But this young man, Eric, is now in hiding, and people in L.A. are expecting for this man to come up dead. They are thinking already that somebody from maybe the Crips would go and find him and murder him because he murdered Nipsey. But what they fail to realize is the FBI themselves can murder this doggone man. They can murder this man, okay? And get away with it, and they can put the blame on a gang member for retaliation. Okay, once again, let's use some movies for an example. I don't even want to call out any movies. You've seen movies. You've seen the gang movies. You've seen, how the FBI operates even in movies. How they display it even in movies. They'll kill their informant after their agenda has been pushed, and they still will be in the clear. Nobody would have not one idea that the government or the FBI was behind all of it from the get-go. And then here we have a mass of a bloodbath. When the actual threat or the actual person at fault or people at fault are clear, hiding in the shadows. And here we are murdering one another yet again. Lord have mercy. Nobody is thinking about how there has been a very long period of peace in L.A. there hasn't been any massive gang violence in LA for a very long time. Now, all of a sudden, while Nipsey is in the middle of doing a documentary on Dr. Sebi, this man is murdered in cold blood, and an informant of the FBI is at fault. But nobody is looking at the FBI. You're looking at the person that did it. As if it makes perfect sense for someone to get so upset, a snitch, to get so upset at one person that he murders a well-known person, someone who the masses of us know and absolutely love, to put his own life in jeopardy, to put his own freedom in jeopardy for life, and murder this man. As if we want to believe that makes perfect sense. I'm sorry, I fail to see how that makes sense. I fail to see it. Because there's no way that man could not have known that there was severe consequences to pay, as in, number one, him either losing his life or his freedom forever. The nature of the culture of our people, we are not that stupid unless we are mentally ill. Which I wouldn't be surprised if they come out and somehow say, oh, he was mentally ill and so on and so forth. Well, if they would have said that by now, him being an informant, they have all the information on this man. That would have been what they have said from the very beginning, that they, arrested, found it, the way, not arrested, but the moment that they found out that Eric did it, they would have said he was mentally ill. Oh, Lord have mercy, help us in heaven. I mean, it's senseless to me, because we have intelligent people, we have very intelligent people who are, in my opinion, blind. My opinion. Here we have Dr. Sebi. I looked at one of his videos, okay, and in his interview, the last interview that he did before he was murdered, said that when he told his mother that he had the cures for all of the diseases, that all of the diseases that that people are inflicted with, that are quote unquote incurable, that he had the cure for, he said that his mother told him that they were going to get him. He said his mother told him that. And then the first attack came against him to take him to the Supreme Court. And he defended himself by himself. He stated in this interview that there were 72 cases brought before the Supreme Court in New York. All of them, New York Supreme Court won. All but this one. They could not win their case against Dr. Sebi. As Dr. Sebi stated in this interview, they were ill prepared because they were used to winning their cases that they bring up against people, but they lost this. This man had natural remedies, herbs and everything, and he even said, of course he has books. They say that you can purchase them on eBay, so on and so forth. I just wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if the government just made it difficult, if not almost impossible, to obtain this information, because there are masses of people who still suffering cancer. There are masses of us who are still suffering from AIDS, HIV, from syphilis, from deadly disease, from lupus, from paralysis, from heart attacks, heart disease, high blood pressure. The masses of us are still suffering. Why? Why? Why, if this information is so free for us to obtain, that Dr. Sebi's so tangible for us. Why aren't the doctors using it? Huh? Tell me that. Why are the masses of us still suffering these diseases? Dr. Sebi also said in his last interview before he was murdered, he said that there is only one disease, and that is the compromise of the mucous membrane. That's what he said. And he said that the African's body is built up of a system that automatically is strong enough to reject whatever disease that comes across the body's path. Stated that the African, in order for an African to get sick with any disease, that the mucous membrane would have to be compromised. That means that he said that it would have to be diluted over and over and over again in order for an African to become ill. He stated that the foods that we eat, the waters that we drink, things that we eat are poison. He said that there should be a question within the Christian diet. He said because you have Christians who are eating pork, who are eating hog maw, who are eating all these foods that cause diseases. And the very people who claim healing in Jesus Christ are sick. Tell me how much sense does that make to you? Because I fail to see any sense in the matter. Dr. Sebi was not just murdered because he had the cures for these diseases. This man, his intelligence, his way of thinking, as he even said in the interview, his last interview, he doesn't even think on the system of other cultures of people. He said he's never been to school. He never even went to. This man was a man of excellent brilliance that had the remedy to shut down everything, every disease that we are inflicted and die from on a daily basis. That this man's intelligence was so high and above the system of America, they couldn't even bring up the case against him and winning, and he defended himself by himself. That's why they murdered him. He represented, like he said, an entity that was unknown or unlike anybody else of any other culture. He said, I am an African. I think like an African. We do not need doctors. We never did. But yet we have this system of people here in America. They teach their education to us and everybody. I'm not going against education. Yes, by all means, get your education, okay? But when you really look at it, okay, if you really look at the whole outlook of the matter, people who have an education of our color, our culture of people, through what they teach us in their education system, the majority of us who have an education should be rich. We should all be business owners, flourishing. There's no way someone who has absolutely no American education could come in and shut down everything that you have learned for your entire life, from kindergarten to your master's and your doctor's degrees. Shut down everything that you have learned in your practice of medicine and so on and so forth. That's why this man was murdered. This man was the antidote for us to look and go beyond the system that is set up here in America against us. He represented a black man who is that looks like us, who could be the hope for us to look beyond what we've been taught in American education, to look to find who we are past what they told us in their American education. We are more than what we have been through. We are more than what our ancestors have gone through in slavery. We are God's chosen people. We are the holy nation. We are the remnant of those that seek Christ. And until we learn who we are and come back to God as we were before slavery, we will continue to suffer. Until we learn who we are and come back to the Father who created us, who started life with us. Until we abide by his commandments and love him by keeping his commandments. Until then, we will continue to suffer. But if we do, when we realize and wake up to who we are, glory be to the Most High God, that we come back to right standings and fellowship and intimacy with God as a culture of who we are. This is why they strip our identities away from us, because they hate who we are. They don't hate the color of our skin. If it were so, they would hate everybody in the rest of this world. We look like everybody else in the rest of this world. This is not a racial type of thing. I am not a racist. I am not prejudiced by far. I love everybody of every culture, of every creed, of every degree, of every whatever. If you are a human being, honey, we are connected. You are my cousin, my brother, my sister, whatever. But there is a reason why we've been stripped from our identities. I want you to know. I'm not going to sit here and tell you exactly who you are. I'll leave that up to the Most High for that. How about that? But I want you to know that there is more to you than what you've been taught in the American education system. If someone who was labeled and diagnosed with severe mental retardation like Les Brown, who still right now today does not have an education, but yet is filthy rich. Why? Because he has the gift of wisdom. People who have an education, who have doctor's degrees, master degrees, bachelor degrees, they pay money to listen to this man and what he has to say. He has no education. Man, I'm here to tell you that you are more than what they tell you. You are more than what you are taught. You are more than black. You are not an oh my God. You're more than African American. You're more than what they say. You are more than what we are going through right now here today. You are more than slavery. You are more than depression. You are more than hate. You are more than the division. You are more than religion. You are more than negativity. You are more than this toxicity. You are more than self-doubt. You are more than abuse. You are more than a conqueror. You are fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of the Most High God. And it's time that you find who you are. Realize that, acknowledge that, accept that, and walk in who you are. My name is Chanel Lynn. I am your host. Once again, I'd like to thank my listeners for once again tuning in to Let's Talk Talk Show. I want to thank everybody for your continued love and support. I want to thank Kimmy Kim. I absolutely love you, lady. I pray your strength. I want to thank Jerry Roy, Positive Power Team. I'd like to thank Elations Radio, Elations Family. I even like to thank you, whoever you are. You could be listening to this broadcast anew. I want to thank you for even tuning in. I want to thank you for your life. I want to thank God for your life, okay? I want to thank God for life, period. I just pray that the times that we are living in, that people wake up and that we return to who we are before it is too late. Take it easy, everyone. Until next time, I will see you right here on Elations Radio. Same time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on Elations Radio. Everyone have a safe and blessed night. Have a wonderful week and a great, safe weekend. Good night.
Blood Brothers, The Jewel, David Benton, Beyond a Fence in the building. This is what y'all want? Yeah, you gon' get it. It don't bother me, hey, no. It don't bother me, taking home. It don't bother me, running on. It don't bother me, running on. It don't bother me, hey, no. It don't bother me, taking on. It don't bother me, running on. It don't bother me, running on. I ain't worried about it. 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 13 years in the bed. And people let me for dead. Hit the waist, piling red, cause I'm a thoroughbred. Every word that I said, I kept. You slept on me, the government stepped on me. My homie just left on me. Nobody but mama dirt, daddy stressed, kids too. You would know what I've been through if you did a bit too. Don't think that you know me, cause we went to the same school. Showing you chain gang and B came a dang fool. I ain't cool, but still I don't blame you. I'm not the same dude. I'm winning, he can't lose. Never been gangster or thug, but I did pop a slug when I was selling drugs in the slum. On the east side of Knoxville, homies they got killed. Just because I'm not a killer don't mean that I'm not real. God told me my purpose, I was nervous and got chilled. Survivor, striving, that's why I'm not bothered. It don't bother me, hey, no. It don't bother me, taking home. It don't bother me, running on. It don't bother me, running on. It don't bother me, hating on. It don't bother me, taking on. It don't bother me, starting on. It don't bother me, fronting on. I ain't worried about it. 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 I got haters on haters. I got haters for haters. I trade haters for haters. They hated the haters. You ain't getting no papers. See you later to haters. Yes, I'm a soul taker. Yeshua come save us. Y'all haters keep talking and talking and talking. More talking ain't gonna do nothing. You just keep on walking and walking. More talking ain't down for no sparking. Can't roll with the chosen, so you should go pocket. Oh, you really ain't about it. You just like the music. Get up out of the way, let the jewel go and do it. This ain't a dream, I was put on a scene, feel a steam with a smack in my hand. You think you can judge me, this clay, this vessel, got soldier, this man? I stand on the rock and it's heavy and steady, that's right that I stand. I'm telling you fam, I ain't choose to do this, so this all I got planned. No, I don't care what you talking about. Low-key capping what it be about. I hear the devil coming out your mind like no, we don't play cause we're from the south. Too blessed to be strapped, we don't even care what you talking about. It don't bother me, hey, no. It don't bother me, taking home. It don't bother me, running on. It don't bother me, running on. It don't bother me, hey, no. It don't bother me, taking on. It don't bother me, running on. It don't bother me, fronting on. I ain't worried about